Greetings and welcome to Vast Debatable. Vast Debatable is a film and television debate show. I am your host, Sat Nyangi. And off camera, we've got two additional judges, August and Tomim. They're waving at me. And so basically today, we've got two debaters who are going to go at it, duking it out to show their prowess in terms of knowledge of film and television. To my left, she is a producer, alternative comedian. She's my ray of sunshine, Louise Ray.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking me to be on here.
Thank you for saying yes. I mean, if she didn't say yes, this wouldn't be happening. It would be awkward.
Super awkward.
And to my right, he is, how do you describe himself? Sexual chocolate.
Oh my god.
He's a film industry exec, and also he's got his debut short film coming out soon. He hasn't told me the name yet because he's very secretive like that. I have Jake Riley Hunt. Jake, I have to be honest, I'm wearing a hat so no one confuses us as brothers.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Hey, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Jake, be honest. You told me you're hungover, mate.
I am. I didn't know we were gonna get into that, but now you brought it out there. So okay, yes, I am. Yes,
all right, guys. For anyone watching this, this is the rules. That's debatable. It's best of three. Round 1 is 7 minutes. Round 2 is also 7 minutes, and we also have a round 3, which we like to call the Wildcard round. So basically, in a Wildcard round, you guys don't know what the question is. It's going to be on the spot, and you have 1 minute to think of your argument, and then 1 minute to debate it, and also 1 minute for your opposition to debate it.
Okay.
Being a best of 3, yes, it may happen where one of you will best your opponent for 2 rounds. We're still going to go to the wildcard round, just for basically the loser can basically have a sympathy point or redeem themselves as being basically an off-the-cuff debater.
Okay.
So we're going to do the best of 3.
All right.
Right.
Awesome.
You guys ready to do it?
Sounds good.
Ready.
Okay, let's do this. So
screwed. Haha.
Yeah, I'm feeling screwed.
no, guys, let's not do this. Positive reinforcement.
You're right.
I feel great, and I can do this.
I like it.
Now, question number 1. We're going to go alphabetical order. We're going to start with Jake.
Okay.
You know, start with Jay.
Yep.
Round 1 question for both of you guys is most undeserving Best Picture Oscar winner. So, Jake, what did you choose?
I chose Crash, the Paul Haggis directed film, which I like, but I think in the context of the year it came out, with the other films that came out, Brokeback Mountain really should have won that year. It just kind of highlighted the Academy's conservatism and kind of disrespect for LGBT movies. And it's a travesty. It's one of the greatest films of the 21st century.
Oh, okay.
And it should have won.
Right. So, Louise, what did you pick for most undeserving Best Picture Oscar winner?
So, I picked Forrest Gump, a film that I absolutely love. I think it's such a bloody good film, but it's completely ridiculous that won over Pulp Fiction, and that is just a fact. That's just completely ridiculous.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, if you're ready to go and attack each other's points and films, go at it.
Oh.
No. After you.
Well,
Yeah, so anyway.
Okay.
No, go on.
No, I mean, yeah, I like Forrest Gump too. I feel like this is difficult because I think Pulp Fiction, do I think it should have won? Actually, no. I think Forrest Gump was probably the right choice at the time.
So the reason you're completely wrong is, okay, so Forrest Gump is a really, really good film. First of all, the casting is fantastic. I absolutely love Tom Hanks in it. I think he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Robin Wright, Sally Field. I mean, these are all heroes. It's an absolutely brilliant film. But the plot is completely, like, trite and ridiculous. Like, the fact that it's like, ooh, Forrest Gump sitting on a park bench, and then a bus stop or whatever, and then telling his life story, and then at the end it's like, oh, that was my life story. Like, it's just so cliched. Whereas Pulp Fiction
has no plot.
That is what is exactly so innovative.
But that is
about
what's great about it.
But that's the fact that it played with plot form in a context of, you know, it's the 90s. It's all Steven Spielberg and sort of big blockbusters. Everything is about genre and how does it fit. And then along comes Tarantino. Does it sound like I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's so hilarious.
Well,
anyway.
Louise, attack more his film as well. Like,
Yeah, so, I mean, it's easy for you because Crash is obviously rubbish. compared to Brokeback Mountain.
Crash isn't rubbish. Crash is a
compared to
a good
Brokeback
film.
Mountain. It's easy to say, oh, this one's really bad and this one's really great. The challenge I have and what makes me so good at debating is that both my films are excellent. And so that is a real challenge for me. And that's why I'm doing so well. But I think I've really convinced you that clearly Pulp Fiction should have won over Forrest Gump.
No, I get your point, but for me, like, it's more of a travesty why Brokeback Mountain didn't win, just because of the context of the fact that it was like a gay film, and I feel like the industry deliberately didn't vote for it because they weren't ready for that kind of film.
I think you're right, and I think that's incredibly offensive to basically everybody in every way.
Yeah.
However, if you think about it, the lasting influence of Brokeback Mountain really hasn't been there compared to the lasting influence of Pulp Fiction. And I think that is why Pulp Fiction really deserved to win so much more. And even Forrest Gump has an iconic script. It's always like, life is like a box of chocolates, Jenny, da-da-da, everybody, shrimp, da-da-da, but like everybody loves it. But still, you can't say that it's completely transformed film since it came out.
Forrest Gump.
And Pulp
Forrest
Fiction
Gump's
has.
I mean, it's hard because they're both like incredibly iconic films. I mean, Forrest Gump is very quotable, and so is Pulp Fiction.
But Pulp Fiction has actually
You
spawned...
guys ignore Pulp Fiction because you guys are arguing why your film is undeserving, and always bring up Crash. Why Crash is rubbish, or why?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Forrest Gump's
Crash
really
isn't
good.
really
I'm not going to
rubbish.
say
That's
it's
the
bad.
thing.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
that's
say
the
it's
thing.
bad.
Because Crash isn't rubbish and Forrest Gump isn't rubbish.
Well,
but if it's like the most undeserving film, like
It just doesn't deserve to win.
Which one didn't deserve to win then?
which one didn't deserve to win?
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, I mean, clearly it didn't deserve to win compared to Pulp Fiction.
I
I've
think-
proved that.
No, I think Forrest Gump deserves to win more than Crash deserved to win, for sure. Like Crash is, I mean, it's so difficult though, because like Crash is a film about race relations, and that was important at the time as well. But we had never seen a depiction of mental health the way we had seen it in terms of triumphing over adversity. However you feel about Forrest Gump. So, I don't know.
I really don't think you can say that Forrest Gump is a film about mental health triumphing over adversity.
It
That
is,
is
though.
simply
That's-
not the case.
It's not.
That's the whole
It's
way.
simply
case.
not
That's-
about that. It's just a man's life, and it's actually such a stupid plot. The fact that when he was a kid, he's living in a boarding house with his mom, and then Elvis Presley comes to stay in the house. It's like, oh my god, because Forrest Gump has stupid braces on his. Sorry, not stupid braces. Very important, healthy, good braces on his legs. Sorry, not because he
Derail
has
it a
like
little
braces,
bit.
so he's doing like jerky dancing, and then Elvis Presley incorporates jerky dancing into his music, and the course of history has changed. And then after that, it's like, Forrest Gump finds himself talking to President Nixon and exposing the Waterhouse scandal or whatever it is, Watergate scandal, and then like and it's just like, oh my god, that's so far fetched. Also, he got a broken heart and then went running for 3 years. I mean, it's rational. It's just such a stupid story.
It's
and I
his
see
journey.
that as someone that loves a film, it's just not. That is not a and then you're also trying to say that is more deserving of a win than a really
Crash,
important film
yeah.
about race relations. I mean, you
Yeah.
just can't compare. Crash is
I
a
mean,
really important film because
It
of
is
that.
a really important film. It is, but if you're comparing, because it was in the same year as Brokeback Mountain, I just feel like Brokeback Mountain is the one that should have won. Even Jack Nicholson, when he
Yeah, but,
read,
you're
the
just
film
kind
that
of
won.
repeating the same point again and again. You're not really like convincing me.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Burn, baby! Oh my god!
Have you seen Brokeback Mountain?
I love Brokeback Mountain.
Okay,
I
good.
think
At
it's
least you've seen
fantastic.
it, yeah.
But really, what it's like saying, oh no, race relations is more important or less
Well,
important.
that's the thing.
than-
They're all important.
than-
They're all important.
It's really important.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say that, maybe the judging panel wanted to like highlight the importance of talking about race relations rather than talking about like homophobia. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
they just weren't ready. They just weren't ready for that kind of movie at the time, which is why it didn't win, which is a shame. Could have shut off.
But I mean, I think I've argued so much better that Forrest Gump is a ridiculous win compared to Pulp Fiction.
I don't know though. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I don't disagree with you completely, because like Pulp Fiction is like a really groundbreaking movie, like for all the reasons that you said.
And Forrest Gump is not a groundbreaking movie.
It's not a groundbreaking movie, but at the
It's
same
an enjoyable
time,
movie. That's
I don't
why.
know if like Pulp Fiction is more deserving to win than Brokeback Mountain, which is what it comes down to.
Which of your films you've chosen think like holds up today? Which of the undeserving one do you think holds up the most today?
Well, they both hold up, to be honest. I mean, like, I'm not gonna shit on Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's.
No, I mean like which of like do you think between Crash and Forrest Gump? Which
Forrest
film-
Gump. No one talks about Crash. No one talks about Crash. Forrest Gump is endlessly quotable. Tom Hanks, his performance. No one talks about Crash.
This is why it's a travesty that it won. I definitely think that. But at the same time, as you initially said, it's about the context in which the film wins against the other nominees. And people still talk about Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction.
All right, guys, wrapping up. How many minutes we got left?
You've got about 20 seconds.
20 seconds left. Your final points, guys.
Forrest Gump, like you said, is kind of like Pulp Fiction in the way that I think everyone still talks about both of those two films in cinema. Like, I think both were deserving to win. Whereas with Crash and Brokeback Mountain, okay.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous that a nice film about...
Cut! I have to cut you guys off.
Oh, she didn't have enough time.
I am sorry, guys, man. 7 minutes is 7 minutes. You have to be brutal in that way. But I have to say thank you very much. That was a good round one. You guys went at it. So
she killed me, man.
Well, I'm going to go on to my fellow judges that are off camera. August, you're going to go first. What did you think, man?
Jake, you got battered, man. Sorry.
Hey, man. So good.
But I do want to say this,
Yeah.
Forrest Gump is a fantastic film. It deserves to win.
Standard.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What deserves to win?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I love it too, yeah. I love it.
I agree with
it
you,
didn't agree
like-
to deserve to win, though.
I actually agree with...
Tom him.
I agree with Jake's choice, but you were the better debater, Louise.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're better at debate.
Tomim went with Louise.
Oh, they both did.
August, you going with Louise. I should point for two. Okay, so...
Jake got trashed like that, mate.
Okay.
So, all right.
It's all good.
I feel bad
It's all
because I've
good.
got a really loud voice and I feel like just kind of like I sound excited about everything.
Alright, so basically, I'm one of the judges as well, and even though partially I'm thinking, I don't need to say anything, I mean, it's 2-1, but I'm gonna bring some stuff up. I like the fact that Jake brought the fact that during that year's Oscars, it was very conservative and that they weren't willing to go with Brokeback Mountain.
Yep.
Crash, in the context of how many years it's been since it's come out, it hasn't really changed anything, hasn't really driven the culture forward. While Forrest Gump is one of those childhood films you remember, you quote, like, Jenny, you know, love me, all that kind of impersonations. I like the fact Louise mentioned that the plot is far-fetched. I think that's part of the reason why it was kind of funny, because it was kind of like coincidental that this simple man or child at the time keeps on running into different historical figures. You guys did bring up Pulp Fiction a lot and Brokeback Mountain, but I allow it because you wanted to do it in context of what it was facing that year. Of course, I allow that. When it comes to the better debate of convincing who was more rubbish, it was Louise.
Yeah, all day.
But at the same time, it's kind of weird. We say most undeserving, but at the same time, I guess, because Crash is so not memorable
It's not.
compared to Forrest Gump, I would have to give the point to Jake because it was an undeserving film to win. So I'm going to go with Jake for that one.
It's a mercy point. I'll take it.
But Louise, you win point one, round one. So yes, round one. Okay.
Round 2. Fight.
Well, guys, that was a good round one. Now, round two, it is the best coming of age film. And again, I'm going to go with alphabetical order.
What?
I think we should do the victor should go first.
Jake.
Okay, all right, okay. We're going to call it audible. We go with the victor here. Louise, I'm sorry, you did well round one. You go first. Best coming of age film. What did you choose?
I have chosen Clueless. Because it's bloody great. Am I meant to go into my spiel now, or are we moving on?
Oh no! You can start off with why you chose Clueless. Yeah.
I chose Clueless because I feel like I'm just going to burn on my amazing arguments now if I reveal them too soon. But
Oh no! You can skirt around it a little bit.
so basically it's just a very, 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 very good film. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay.
You're quite secretive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake, what did you choose as the best coming of age film?
Stand By Me, Rob Reiner.
Such a cliche.
But it could be cliche all at once. It's the best coming of age movie.
All right. Okay. Now it's time to find out why do you guys think your respective films are the best? Go.
Stand By Me is like the cornerstone of kids' movies. Stephen King, Rob Reiner, who's gone on to do so much other great films in this arena. Just how it looks at nostalgia and death and kids growing up and River Phoenix, man. It's amazing.
I do love the film. However, You mentioned it really looks at kids growing up, but of course it doesn't, does it? It looks at boys growing up. And I wonder if you made this choice because you're a man, and if you're a woman, you might not feel that it resonates so strongly with you. And this is such a great argument because it's so hard for anyone to come back against this. But anyway.
Gender doesn't have anything to do with it.
I think it does.
No, it doesn't.
No,
I watched a
honestly,
film
it
called
does.
8th Grade the other day, which is about a young girl going through what it's like to meet new people, how to deal with anxiety, like breaking out with pimples and all that kind of shit. I'm not a fucking girl in 8th grade, but I connected with her character. I connected with her character because I've been that age and I can relate. So
looks can be deceptive, guys.
Stand By Me is a film that transcends gender. Like we've all been kids and we've all had to deal with, death and life and bullies and all that kind of stuff. Have you not? Do you have to be a man to deal with that?
It helps if you're a child. But
you've been a child?
No, never.
Okay.
Just came out like this.
Right.
But basically, okay, my main issue with Stand By Me is actually that, much like Forrest Gump actually, it has at its heart a really cheesy narrative device, which is the fact that the man is all grown up and he's like, my friend, when I was once a boy and now I'm writing a book and da-da-da, and so it's like a retelling of his childhood through this like device that he's writing a book, and I just think it's very, very lazy adaptation. Obviously it's adapted from a Stephen King novel, and I just think it's a bit like this often happens when they try to
Tell me why Clueless is not lazy.
So Clueless basically spawned for a whole generation a whole new vocabulary and a way of talking. So whatever, as if, you could be a farmer in those clothes. Oh my god, she's a real Monet. Okay from a distance, but awful close up. And just so many kind of ways of talking and being. And I think that's hugely influential. And I also really, and this is, I'm kind of undermining my own argument because this is quite a gendered perspective, but it also really encapsulates the dilemma and the paradox of being a teenage girl, which is that on the one hand, you're under so much pressure to be kind of nurturing, and you're socialised as a woman that you're meant to be nice, but on the other hand you're also socialised to compete. And so when she gives Ty a makeover and then she gets really upset because Ty becomes more popular than her, this just encapsulates that paradox perfectly. So I think that therefore the film is bigger than the sum of its parts,
No, I wasn't convinced by that.
Why not?
I don't see how that is more of a bigger coming-of-age movie than Stand By Me, which has had such an influence on film culture ever since. Clueless has as well, but nowhere near in the same level as Stand By Me. Without Stand By Me, there'd be no kids. There'd be no Stranger Things without Stand By Me.
There would be no Stranger Things, but that's
There'd be
because
no
Stranger
Stranger
Things is
Things.
an algorithm ripoff. I mean, I love it, but it is also
Without
an
Stand By Me,
algorithm
there'd be no
ripoff.
Stranger Things. That's just a fact.
But
That's
I
just a
mean,
fact.
I think that there would be no Mean Girls without Clueless. I think there would be no American Pie. I actually think that Clueless spawned a sort of this whole high school. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing, but it's hugely influential. This sort of obsession that American culture has with high school and. So obviously Mean Girls.
Clueless is
American
more
Pie
of a
and all these
teen.
films.
It's more of a teen movie. I don't see it as being as much of a coming of age.
But
movie.
I think that's what's so important about it, because actually, so the quote at the end of Stand By Me where they're like, oh, I never did ever have friends again. They were as great as the friends I had when I was 12 years old. It's like, when I was 12 years old, all my friends were like little kids because you're a child. Whereas I actually think that in many ways, when you're a teenager, this informs who you are as an adult so much more strongly. And I think in many ways, but the weakness of Stand By Me is that the kids are so young, I think, as a coming of age movie.
See, that for me that's what makes Stand By Me so great, that they're so young. It's why Stranger Things works as well. Because it just fits right in the nostalgia.
Can't be, so, Stranger Things is actually they literally did algorithms about, that there was a trend of audiences watching a lot of nostalgia, and literally Stand By Me on Netflix. They're like, how can we play with nostalgia?
And that is why Stand By Me is the better coming of age film.
No, not really. But
Because
I just
so
think
many
that
films,
Stranger Things.
they're using algorithms.
I would say that actually the fact that Stand By Me influenced Boys in the Hood. This is actually, if I was you, I would be saying this. And this.
Well,
is
you
much
can just
more
keep adding to
influential.
my argument about why it is the best coming of age film. I'm completely fine with that.
No, that's not how it works, man.
But you are. You are adding to it, so I can. Because
No, I just think it's like a bit of like a red herring with Stranger Things, because this was actually like a cynical, deliberate algorithm thing. So anyway, just there's something to Google later if you don't know this, but about this. But
No, I know. Like Boys in the Hood, they use the same dead body scene, but still, but you're right, exactly, Boys in the Hood. Its influences, the fact that you even know that just proves to show that its influence is like
Well, no, I googled
undeniable.
it before this, but yeah, okay.
You still Googled it.
I think
Instead of your film, so, there you go.
no, I also googled my film.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you gave me a point to win though, didn't you? So.
I don't know. I'm okay with it. I think I can afford to be generous.
If I lost this round, I'd be surprised though, to be honest. I'm
Interesting.
not trying to influence the judges, but like.
I think that in terms of like kind of having an actual intelligent argument about why a film is so influential,
Yeah, well,
I
are we
think
not
I have
being
actually done this.
Have you? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm convinced.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's my job to convince you or the judges, so we'll let them be the judge of it.
Oh, guys. Tense.
Oh my god, I actually don't care at all. I think both are great films, but I mean, I definitely.
Yeah, I think both are great films as well. Yeah. I really do. I don't really care.
I definitely think though that Clueless is a much more intelligent film. Stand
No,
By Me,
I
as I said, is
disagree
a
with
very lazy plot device. The fact that this
It's
was
lazy.
really.
Oh my
Whereas
god.
Clueless was very ahead of its time. You know that sort of amazing computer program she has for her
Stand By
clothes.
Me wasn't ahead of its time?
They wore. No, it wasn't
Oh, wrap
at
it
all
up.
ahead of its time. It was
How many seconds got
very
left?
lazy.
26.
26 seconds
Seconds.
left. Yeah.
Please let
Wrap
this
it up,
round
guys.
end.
You
Oh my
you do
God.
your
Your
closing
final,
No,
argument.
no,
your
you do
closing
yours.
argument.
No, because you didn't have enough time
No, it's
to do
cool,
yours
man. Go
last
for
time.
it. I think I already proved that Clueless is much more sort of important film.
Clueless
it deals with older kids.
But your whole argument is it's a better film because it deals with older kids.
That's not my whole argument. That's very reductive.
Clueless is a great film that looks at high school girls and
And
teens.
time. Oi. Round 2 was very, very tense. You guys went for each other's neck. Gosh. I enjoyed it, by the way. That was incredible. You guys did really well. And I'm going to go off to my off-screen judges. August, what did you think? Or who did you go with?
I just want to say that, Jake, what a comeback, man.
Okay,
Man, you
alright.
did me proud. You did
Okay,
me proud.
good.
I was like, whoa, yeah. Ooh, but I'll just have to go with Jake. He's absolutely that's done.
Why are you going with Jake? Well, what's the...
Because it is, I resonate more with Stand By Me than Clueless. Clueless I just saw as a. I would say he did give birth to like Mean Girls, not American Pie, but yeah, Mean Girls. I'll give you that. But I don't resonate well with Clueless. It's not my film, but Stand By Me is like, yeah,
It's classic, man.
It's classic. You feel that, and it's like you makes you want to be a part of that. So yeah, definitely Stand By Me.
Okay, tell me what did you think? So the point to Jake from August, okay.
I love Clueless. I
Yes.
think it's a given that I love Clueless because I'm a female that grew up in the 90s. But I don't think age is a factor of coming of age because I think you can come of age at any time. You could be 12, you could be 21. And I think Stand By Me is more important. As in Clueless, it informed a generation, whereas Stand By Me is still informing generations.
But the question is, was it a best coming of age film? Because the genre is, does it transform the characters?
I'd say Stand By Me. Just because, yeah, it still resonates with people.
All right, cool.
And people are still watching it decades after, whereas Clueless, we're still watching it a decade or two afterwards.
Alright.
But are the younger generation actually latching onto that?
2 points for Jake. All right, this is what I think. Okay, the question is best coming of age film, based on the way things were argued. Jake presented the fact is, nostalgia, kids growing up, it transcends gender, it influences Boys in the Hood, which is something that Louise kind of volleyed over to Jake. Those were the points that he brought up. But Louise brought up the fact that Stand By Me is a cheesy narrative, lazy adaptation. So kind of like, how a lot of 80s film was in love with the cheese. But what I like the fact with Louise's argument is that, Clueless, spawned a vocabulary, but more importantly, because the question is best coming of age, is the dilemma and paradox of being a teenage girl. We see, the character go through a transformation. And because I feel like Louise brought more points in her argument, I have to go with Louise. But at the end of round 2, Jake gets a point, so 1 each.
Anything could happen.
We just mentioned that Clueless was also an adaptation as well.
Yeah, but it's a better adaptation.
Also,
It's
Clueless
not
is
an issue.
getting.
There's an adaptation. It's always it's a.
Also,
It's the
See,
Stand By Me
I
was a
should've said
lazy
this.
adaptation.
I should've
The
said-
narrative device was really bad.
Clueless is getting remade in 2020. They're not remaking Stand By Me. You know why? Because you don't remake certain classics.
I ain't nothing again.
Everyone calm down.
Final round, fight!
Okay, guys, that was a very tense round 2. Jake, congratulations.
Brought it back.
Mate, I
Brought
was
it back.
afraid for you, man. It seems like that hangover was like kryptonite to you, man. And Louise always game, did me proud right there. You just going back and forth.
I don't know why I got so tense. It's
I
quite
don't know
hilarious.
why
You guys went for each other's
I
neck.
don't know
I
why
was
either.
a bit
It's just like
tense. Yeah.
personal.
We got carried away.
Yeah,
carried
I
away.
did. It's inappropriate.
You said I wasn't intelligent.
Now,
No, I did not.
No, you didn't.
See, argument
okay,
competition.
guys, stop it. We haven't even started round 3 yet. And round 3 is coming up. Round 3 is the Wildcard round. As I mentioned in the beginning, round 1 and 2 was each 7 minutes. Round 3 is a bit different. So basically, you're going to get given a question on the spot right now. You have 1 minute to think of your arguments. And then after that 1 minute, we're going to go back to alphabetical order since it's one apiece, which is Jake. So the question is that I've been given by my producer is worst video game film. You have 60 seconds. Go.
2 hours later.
Jake, you ready for your
Yep, ready?
point? Okay, 60 seconds starts now.
Okay, there have been some terrible, as a guy who plays video games, there have been some terrible adaptations of games, and it pains me. There's been Doom, there's been Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, so many. But the worst game adaptation movie is by far the 1980s Super Mario. If there is a game adaptation that is worse than Super Mario, where Bob Hoskins is Mario, please let me know. It's an abomination. The film doesn't make any sense, and it's by far the worst game ever to be adapted on screen. That's all I got.
That's what you got?
That's all I got.
How many seconds left on the clock?
20.
20 seconds. You got the last 20 seconds.
Did
You
I
have-
mention how bad the film is? It's really bad. That's all I got, because it's just terrible.
Okay, the title says bad, but you didn't expound upon why it's bad.
Well, because the plot's nonsensical and Bob Hoskins should never play Mario. It's poorly acted. It's just bad. That's all I
Thank
got.
you. And time. All right. Louise, what did you choose as the worst video game film?
Okay, so I'm in a bit of a tight spot because I'm just don't do video games. I had a SNES when I was a kid and it was awesome, but that's about as far as I go with all this stuff. So I was a bit like, Grand Theft Auto, but I've never actually seen Grand Theft Auto, and then it's like, Street Fighter film. I was like, I've played Street Fighter, the computer game, but I've never actually seen any film, and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, so obviously the worst one is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's currently being produced. Because it's so rubbish that even when they just brought out this little of the Hedgehog Sonic, everyone was really pissed off and they had to remake it all basically because everyone got really angry. And it looked like the Hedgehog was kind of deformed and it was a bit weird and stuff. So yeah, obviously this is going to be absolutely dreadful, and I don't even need to know what the plot line is or anything about it to know that it's going to be rubbish and no one will watch it, and we'll all just be really angry that it even exists basically. So I think it's probably really quite clear that is going to be the worst computer game movie of all time.
Wow. How many seconds do we have on the clock?
4.
There? We're 4 seconds.
Excellent, that's not very long.
And
Good.
the time.
Good.
Use the minute well.
Okay. Louise, you're the first person to ever choose a film that hasn't come out yet as the worst film. That is like, either you're like Nostradamus or you got some industry connections I don't know about. But that is a gamble you took off. But okay.
I actually didn't have a choice because I haven't seen any movies of this category.
That's the beauty of the wild card. My off-screen judges, August. Who did you go with?
Oh, Jake, because that film hasn't even come out yet for you to have that. I know, so yeah, Jake, he won it. But I was thinking the exact same movie as well.
Yeah,
Terrible.
it is one of the worst films of all
Yeah.
time.
And then Luigi got with the princess. I'm like,
Yeah,
what is that about? Anyway.
All right, yeah, that's a.
I would have gone for Assassin's Creed.
No, that's not too bad.
Assassin's
actually.
Creed is a terrible movie,
But I think
but
Super Mario.
if we're weighing up Super
is
Mario
so bad, it's
with
good.
Bob
I
Hoskins,
laugh at it.
Nah.
But again, Sonic the Hedgehog hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, you
By the
can't
time
do
this
that.
comes out, it will come out, and you would have been right. But
No, you guys-
at the
too
time
soon
of
to judge.
filming,
yeah,
I'll go
it's
for
too soon to
Jake.
judge.
Yeah.
All right, that is 2 for Jake. It's my choice. So basically, it sucks that you don't watch video game films. I feel like
I feel quite let down, to be honest. That.
but I love how confident she was. She went with a film that hasn't come out yet. But yeah, Mario film, what the heck? Yes, I'm gonna go with Jake.
But I thought you made the film sound good. I was like, Bob
I made the
Hoskins
film
as
sound good.
Bob Hoskins as Mario. That's cooking on gas.
That
Who
is
was Luigi?
the
That's
stuff
what I
of-
want to know.
That's the stuff of nightmares.
Who was Luigi?
Bob
Danny
Hoskins.
DeVito.
Well, guys, I would like to say thank you very much for coming. Obviously, based on the judges' comments and myself, the winner of this debate coming out from his hangover and in for the kill. He was the underdog. You can call it a Rocky story,
Underdog?
a Cinderella story.
Film at university. I'm the underdog. I had to research things. I've never seen any of these
You
films.
battered me in the first round.
I've
I
never
didn't
even
start off
seen
well.
any of these films. I worked really hard. I think I deserve 4.
Louise, lose and grace, Louise. The winner is Jake Riley Hunt, and here you are with your master debater cup.
Do I get a cup?
Oh my
Yes,
god,
you
is
do.
that the
Holy
prize?
shit.
That is a prize. You
Wait,
get a
can I
mug.
get a mug as well?
There's
That's pretty
a
great.
second prize one somewhere, which is the Debatist show on the internet. So yeah, you don't want to shake hands. Yeah. So basically, Louise, thank you very much for coming. You did a great job.
I don't ever want to see you again.
I understand why you don't want to be my friend anymore.
No,
but-
I'm joking, I do.
She's lying. She's gonna give me an angry message later. She's like,
Delete.
Yeah.
I don't give a gram.
Block.
All right. Before we go off air, can you guys give us your social media? You want to plug anything? Jake, do you want to plug anything coming up for you?
No. But thank you.
Okay, Louise, you want to plug anything? Louise Ray, you want to plug anything? Any gigs coming up or anything you're working on? You
I'm
want people
working
to
on
know
a brand
about?
new show called Sick Jokes. So come and check it out.
Where can we find Sick Jokes?
I don't know yet.
Okay, she doesn't know
And the
yet.
Edinburgh Fringe.
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for having me, man.
Take care,
Thank you.
like, subscribe, and share. Chill.
How do you feel about winning, and do you like your master debater mug?
I like my mug very much. I feel great. Feels good. Yeah. She started off very strong, and I thought it was going to continue that way, to be honest.